today's video is going to be about past male experiences.
Or encounters.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some experiences we had in our past life.
So we have 10 altogether, but we've decided only to do 5 just
To keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
So
we've changed the names.
disclaimer.
Yes, so we don't have to
We don't have to tell people the names, like keep for privacy reasons.
Okay, so the first encounter is with a guy named Bob. Okay, Crystal, start us up.
Okay, so one day we're at the shops, me and Chantelle and I, and we're going to buy, we went there for a few things, like a quick little shop, you know, we're dressed, like we weren't dressed nicely, we didn't have makeup on, or we're hair was messy, like whatever.
Hairy legs.
No, it's gross.
You
No
about
one's
it.
gonna know that. Anyway, so we weren't dressed as anyone, we just went there to quickly go get stuff and leave. And we went to the donut section, because I love donuts, well I did at the time, and I got a donut, and my shirt, I didn't realise it actually had a donut on it, and it said do not scream at me, and then oh, it's a donut. Anyway, and then we were like looking at the stuff and we were turning around, we saw someone we knew.
Bob. We saw Bob.
We saw Bob. And we're like, oh, please don't come over, please don't see us. He saw us, he came over, and he was talking to us. Should I say, she was talking to you because I couldn't talk.
Anyway, so he came over to us and he was like, because he knows both of us, and he was fully like talking to us and all that stuff, and he's like, and he was talking to us, and Crystal just wasn't, she was just standing there and she was just completely blank. She did not say a word. So especially like he was just talking to me really. I
couldn't find any words to say. I couldn't say hello.
She was
it
like
was
speak
weird.
to us. Like guys and Crystal just doesn't work. Anyway, so the thing is, he was talking to us and then I looked over to Crystal and I was like, Crystal, are you gonna say something?
She literally said that. And I was like, I just don't know what to say.
Anyway, he asked us what we were doing there. He was getting like lemons or something for his
alcoholic drinks.
And he asked what we were getting and we're like, we're just getting a donut. And then he pointed out that Crystal was actually wearing a donut shirt, and it was really ironic because we didn't actually realise. And a guy to pick up on stuff like that, obviously they pick up on things. Anyway, so at this time I was booking to go to get my peas test, and he full on like was showing me with like, was it with like the Lemingtons and like all the cake section stuff, how to do a parallel park.
To give you some help, give us some help.
Yeah, and like he reminded me to make sure I slow down when the buses had the flashing lights.
And that's basically the funny part. I couldn't talk and.
So that was Bob's encounter.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2 we had, so this is more like a personal one for me. I went on a date with this guy named Zach. I met him on Tinder.
Zach.
I don't care, I'm leaving him the name. I don't
It's
give a
not
shit.
Zach, it's
I don't care about him. I don't have him on any social media. I don't have him on social media.
He can find you.
I don't care. Anyway, I went on a date with this guy named Zach, and I met him on Tinder, as I mentioned before. And it was like he was like older. And this was like my first time meeting someone that I've never met before. But we talked over session.
Not really, that's not true. Because you met the other guy, Mark. We didn't know him either.
Which one was Mark again?
You met a lot of guys you don't know. It's just like you didn't meet. You met online.
Yeah, this is the first one that I've met online. And I was by myself and I was like a little bit nervous I guess. But anyway, we went to
let's just keep in mind, she was not allowed to do this. We told her not to go. And we told her to go, if she was going to go to a public place where everyone's around her for safety reasons.
I did.
So do not, if you're watching this, do not go out with a random guy off the internet. Do not do that, it's dangerous.
Anyway, I didn't want to bring the embarrassing family. So anyway, I went, I actually spoke to Bob about this situation previously beforehand.
That's fun.
And he gave me some pointers. Anyway, we went on this date and we're at this shopping centre. We went to, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it wasn't a very nice place, honest opinion. Anyway, we sort of didn't click. Like everything that he was like saying just contradicts with what I think of. Like he's like, maybe you should come spearfishing one day. And I'm thinking that is so cruel to animals.
I
could
kill
not
fish.
Imagine doing that. Anyway, I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work, and it was just really awkward. So it just ended really bad. Anyway, we went on that one date, and then hugged goodbye, and that was the last time I heard from this Zach guy.
But the weird thing is he actually offered you to go to spearfishing or something. And then he actually ended up leaving you.
He invited me to a party.
Yeah. And
he wanted, after dinner, he wanted to go to like
somewhere else.
Playtime or some crap.
But then he deleted her on Facebook. So it's like, what gives?
But
yeah, so
whatever. He's out of my life.
Next one is another one is about me. His name was Kyle. Disclaimer, his name wasn't actually Kyle. Anyway, I was in like year 7, I think, or year 8. And this guy who was dating he used to date my best friend, he got around. Anyway, and then he actually liked me back, so we went out, but we didn't actually go out. He asked me, I don't know how he even asked me out. And my friends told
Crystal.
My friends were talking, and we ended up going out by talking to friends. We didn't actually talk to each other. Anyway. And
so did he ask you out, or did he ask you out through someone else?
I don't remember. I think that's someone else.
That's someone good.
But regardless, we're like in year 7, and we did not. We just talked before. I just talked to him before we were going out. Anyway, when we were actually going out, I couldn't talk to him. Once again, I would literally, he'd come to class, and I would be with my friend. I'd be like, let's go quickly inside before he comes to class, and we'd quickly go sit away from him, and every time he'd talk to me, like, oh, hi, Crystal, I'd be like, hi, I'd like walk away. I was like, really, I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm really awkward, and it was really funny because he was my boyfriend, and I didn't talk to him. I told all my friends his story, and they're like, it's so funny. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I literally had a boyfriend. I did not talk to him, and then eventually he's like, a few days later, he's like, Crystal, we don't really talk. I went to the point of us going out. And I'm like, oh, thank God he's dumping me. I'm like, yes, really? And then it was over, and after we came back to normal friends again. So, yeah, sometimes you don't want to be with a guy.
It gets complicated.
It gets a bit weird and silent.
Especially
that's my experience with Kyle, my first true not love.
Okay, so another one for me. When I was in year 7, I also had a little boy toy as a crush. Yeah,
he's like boy toy is inappropriate.
Oh wait, maybe it was year 8.
It was older. I was like year 10.
Maybe year 9. Okay, let's just say year 9.
Year 7.
Anyway, it was this guy named Jared. He also, I don't know, maybe this is like a thing that always happens in high school. He was dating one of my friends. Anyway, I didn't take him off her. Yeah, so basically, anyway, we sort of like liked each other. Maybe it was like a 12-year-old crush, I don't even know. Anyway, we decided that we'd go out, and one day I told my parents that I'm going to go to the park and hang out with this guy named Jared. And I have to inform you that this guy he used to tell me that he sort of was a drug dealer. So when I told the parents and when I told this one over here, they were like Nazis. They were going crazy. They're like, oh my God, you're not going on drug dealer and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm just going to hang out. Nothing's going to happen or whatever. So I left to the park, and it was only like around the corner from us, and they knew exactly where I was going. And anyway, I was hanging out with him, and it wasn't very like, we didn't do anything, like we didn't even kiss at all. Looking back at it. Anyway, I don't even know what we did, we just sat there and talked. Anyway, all of a sudden, I see a car drive past.
Why not disclaimer? That's what you say?
Why?
This is the other side, this is my side.
Okay.
So Mum was cooking dinner, and we needed something. We were missing a grocery, so we had to go buy it. So we were going to the shops, and the shop's near on the way it's past the park. So you go past the park to go to the shops, and we're going to the shops. Mum was like, I'll let you tell the story, because
well, I wasn't there, so what was it like?
Mum's like, Crystal, should we go check on Chantelle? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, you know, it's kind of embarrassing. I don't see us. And then she's like, come on, let's go do it. Come on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say no to a little adventure. So. And we went in our little Camry, big Camry, and we started driving to the park.
Anyway, I'm sitting here talking to Jared, having like a normal conversation like normal people do. And all of a sudden I see this Toyota Camry at the top of the hill where the park is. And I'm looking at it and thinking, wow, these people are driving really slow. And we're thinking to each other, that's really weird, like someone's watching us. I realised that the rims are actually off our car. So here I am texting them saying, go away. And I had to act to my 15-year-old boyfriend that I didn't know who they were. Which is very awkward because after this encounter, we hung out again.
No, didn't walk.
And Mum picked me up from his house.
I didn't go closer to you.
I don't
turn
know.
around. I think they're closer to turn around.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh crap, actually usually them.
They actually seriously were watching me from afar, and I seriously noticed the car and the wheels.
It was
and
hilarious.
It just gave them away completely, and I had to act like I didn't know them. And that's really hard, to be honest. But yeah, that was really embarrassing, because imagine if you found out with my parents, be like, do they have trust issues or something? And I'd be like, dude, I was 15.
I have trust issues.
Yeah. But this one over here, she's like the worst when it comes to guys.
And regardless, it was funny. I don't regret it, because it's a funny story.
And let's just face it, that 12-year-old relationship wasn't going to go anywhere.
Especially as a drug dealer.
Exactly.
Okay, so our last one for today is a joined story. We were on Tinder for the fun of it a while ago. When we first started, we were on it for the fun, and we still basically are. Anyway,
and at the moment we're still on it, but we're doing it more.
No, sure, tell them.
We've got something planned for it.
People might watch this and think, we're not going to tell you. Yeah, so yeah, so we went looking at this guy on Tinder, and we don't recommend Tinder.
This guy's name is Mark, and we went Mark with
Tinder. So we were talking to Mark, and he used to go to our old school. I didn't know him back in school. He's actually younger than me by a few years.
He's younger than me also, just by 1 year.
I just didn't know him in school. He wasn't. Yeah, he would have been there at the same time, but I just didn't know him personally. Anyway, we both swiped with him, so we both matched with him, and we were both talking to him. He was a really nice guy at the time, and he didn't know we were sisters. And we used to give him really subtle hints, like really obvious hints, because he did not. We gave him subtle ones, and he never noticed. So we gave him really obvious ones. And like we used to send photos like cats to him to see if he noticed they were the same cat and dog or whatever. He still never noticed, and never said anything.
We even said, oh, we're like, we knew where he worked and where he lived, and we're like, hey, we're in your area, and he just did not notice.
And we're like, oh, we did this. And like, what did you say? I'm like, oh, I did this, and she would say the same thing.
Yeah,
she did the same thing.
Now, watch your people do the exact same thing.
And it's like he never got he never knew it was the same, like, we're kind of saying we're sisters. Anyway, so, it's a bit of a dud to begin with. Moving on from Mark's dudness, we ended up arranging to meet him. We ended up telling him, like, we were like, you know, because he kept asking, like, you know, hang out. And we thought, we'll just tell him we're sisters. And we ended up thinking, oh, we're going to get some ice cream with him. And at the time, they're having, like, at Wet n Wild, they're having a
carnival, like Mr. Whippy and all those food stores.
Yeah, so you go to the food stores and buy ice cream or whatever.
Anyway, he said that he's never had Mr. Whippy before, so we thought, we'll take your Mr. Whippy virginity. Basically, that's what we called it. That's what we called it.
Whatever.
You gotta tell them the whole story. Anyway, we drove all the way there, and
it was shut early that day.
Yeah, it was shut early because some sort of
special thing. I can't remember what.
So as I was driving, I got Crystal and Mark to look up some other ice cream places.
And it was quite late this night. It was quite...
Yeah, it was like 9ish or something.
Oh, I don't know.
They're open to 10.
I think it was like a weekday. It was like a day that wasn't... No, it's like 7, but because the restaurants are closed usually. Like,
yeah.
Shops are closed.
Anyway, we stumbled across Baskin Robbins.
It was open. And
we're like, we've never been there before, but he has because he sort of works in that area. Anyway, so we're like, okay, we'll go there. So I drove a way that I thought...
Yeah, drove away.
We'll actually make our way there, but we actually ended up getting lost.
It's a long way.
And I was just like, we don't know where we're going, we just kept on driving. Anyway, we ended up finding our way to Baskin Robbins. And we hung out with him, we had ice cream, we all got along really, really well. Like, it was really good.
It was really easy.
Yeah, it was just, there was never like one of those...
Awkward,
like, silences or whatever.
It could be because, one, we weren't really physically attracted. I don't know, I wasn't really attracted. He's quite young for me.
Yeah.
Number 2, because maybe because you were there, I'm not sure.
I don't know. But anyway, he was
I actually spoke to him more Chantelle. And maybe because he's younger than me, I'm not sure.
Anyway, the thing is, we got along really well, and then towards the end of the night, we're like...
No, he's like... We're like... Oh, because what we were seeing, it was like a lot of bugs in the light, so like, we'll move over there. And he's like, oh, we'll move over there for like a short time. Like, okay, whatever. So we sat there for like, he wanted to go home because he had like... He had like, I think
he
what he was on.
Neighbours
he had like dinner or something. Anyway, and it's like, oh, I'll stay for another 5 minutes. Okay, whatever. Talked for like another 10 minutes or whatever. And then, yeah. And then we ended up going home because he was like getting phone calls and stuff. And then after that, we actually arranged to go for ice cream at the other place that was, I think, going to be open the next week. Yeah. And we didn't hear from him like, the whole week. We didn't message him until we let him message us. And he never did. And then Chelse's like, I'll message you now, see what's going on. She messaged him, and then he's like, I'm talking to her like normal, and he goes, I can't come go babysit my sister or whatever. Like, whatever, fair enough, understandable. Another time. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, fine. And then...
And basically, that's the last time
we ever heard
from him.
Like,
he's still alive, we know that.
Yeah. He had his HSC. So we thought he was studying, so we didn't harass him. We didn't go, oh, like, what are you doing? We didn't care. You know, he's going to study, do his life. And then she was like, we'll message him again, see how he's going. And she did. And he replied to her, and then they had a little short conversation, and he replied. And he didn't reply to her again. Like, he was just, it was time to reply, and he didn't reply.
So we're just like,
and then I'm like, oh, I'll see how his HSC went. So I messaged him, not one bit of a reply. So I'm like, why? And she said on the night we hung out, oh, I had a really good time, hang out again, don't, like, you know, definitely. And I don't understand what changed. Like, why be so rude? Like, don't lie. Don't say it was fun if you didn't have fun. I don't know, just... I don't understand I still don't understand to this day what his problem was. Like, I don't understand it.
Anyway, we had
All
fun,
I do know
and
that he broke a part of her car, and that's why he was like embarrassed because he knew he did it.
It was nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing, but we didn't care, and we didn't make a big deal of it. And I don't know, it's why he didn't want to come, because he's like, oh, I did break it.
Anyway, at the end of the day, we met this guy, and it was like a little bit of a thing. It was pretty fun, and we got to taste Baskin Robbins for the first time. So yeah, it all ended up well for us. We didn't really need him anyway, really. But yeah,
it was just weird. Anyway, so that's our little 5 experiences with males.
Encounters, whichever one you prefer. We will have another 5 in another video. Maybe down the track sometime. We just have to prepare for that one. But
hope you guys enjoyed. It was funny telling you these experiences.
Please like, subscribe, or comment any experiences you've had with a girl or guy. We don't really care which one. Yeah, and you can follow us.
Any gender or non-gender.
Yeah. Follow us on our social medias, and yeah.
Links are down below.
Yep.
Have a good day.